For this third video of the series of short videos around Plant 3D, let's discuss local servers collaboration. When we talk about local server collaboration, this will imply either SQL databases and or Autodesk Vault. A default Plant 3D project uses a SQLite databases, which is a file-based database. Usually the project is on a network and the content would be either local or on the company's network. Some projects require a SQL Server database, mainly because they are quite large and they involve a quite big number of people in terms of concurrent design, accessing the project. So if the project size and the project stakeholders number require the use of a server, we can then set up a SQL Server where the project is usually on the server or the company's network, and the database is on a Windows Server managed by SQL Server. The specs and the catalogs are also on a network or can be placed on a server. Now, should you want to also use data management on premise, we have Autodesk Vault. So Plant 3D is integrated with Vault Workgroup or Vault Professional. We are talking about the global project, the one managed in Plant 3D by the project manager. The Vault client is not necessary. Usually it's used only for administrative tasks. And the local projects are synchronized with a check-in, check-out system with Vault project. The project in Vault, which is the unique source of truth in this case. Quite similar to the project stored in BIM 360 for cloud-based collaboration. The integration involves a local user space, just like any Vault config you might have seen. We have user 1 and user 2 here. They all have their local workspace folder, meaning the whole project copied on their local machines. And then we have two databases, the SQL Server one for the project master, for the planned project master, and the Vault database for the data management, which is also another SQL Server instance. So, as a summary about the integration between Plant 3D and Vault, we can use, of course, Plant 3D from version 2014 to 2021, all languages. The Vault server needs to be already set up. It can be workgroup or professional version. It needs to be the same version as Plant 3D, meaning that if you are using AutoCAD Plant 3D 2021, you need to have Vault 2021. The users do not need to be Vault experts. They will stay and use and perform their common tasks in the plant environment. And they just need to have access to be given access to the Vault server. The Vault client is not needed for users for daily tasks. These are the main features of this integration. We can easily create a new project in Vault. Of course, we need to be an admin to do that. Open a project from Vault, and operations of check-in, check-out can be performed by users. When a user starts working on a drawing or any document in the Vault, in the planned project, they need to check out that file. Checking it out reserves it for them and locks it for all the other users. That way the operation is secured and we make sure that only one user changes something in a file at the same time. Once the changes are done by this user, he or she can check the file back in, which unlocks it for all the other users and creates a new version in the Vault. Vault brings revisions, so revisioning, which are milestones in a specific project um, for files but also for documents. And it allows users to roll back to previous versions of the files. We brought ribbon integration in Plant 3D to use Vault as easily as it can be. And also, project admins have a very uh, quick way to migrate SQLite or SQL Server projects to Vault. To illustrate this integration, we imagined three small workflows. One is about piping and building links models example. So Plant 3D piping models plus Revit models managed in a Vault repository, a central Vault repository. This is about real-time collaboration with linked models. You can have the visual links and production drawing generation, including all the objects generated by Plant 3D and Revit. The linked files behave as blocks. We don't access the Revit files properties in Plant 3D, and we don't access the Plant object properties in Revit. Let's take a look at this short video. This is the Vault client. This is a Revit file that has um, a lot of Plant 3D native files linked to the model. You can actually, in the Vault desktop client, visualize all these models. We can review the structure Revit model. We can easily check it out, open in Revit or in Design Review. With Authorized Design Review, we can annotate, markup this drawing. Once this is done, we will be able to check the drawing back in. As you can see, the hierarchy is maintained with the linked files. And then we can send this comment, this markup, directly into Revit. We can easily open the comment, have it in Revit, modify the Revit design. For example, we need to change a beam's dimensions, a reinforced concrete beam's dimensions. Check the drawing back into the model, sorry. The latest drawings are published to Vault. And we can perform a consistent review on these sheets, version 7, which is the newest one, with the beam section updated. Let's go to Plant 3D now. We can easily reload the Revit model in Plant 3D. So the Revit model is an exported DWG file containing the latest beam sections updates. And we can then include those changes on a layout drawing, on an existing, so update an existing layout drawing, which is called auto drawings in Plant 3D, with the changes in the concrete uh, elements from Revit. Once we done that, we can publish, check back in the layout drawing in the vault. The layout drawing, the auto drawing is now available and visible in the Vault client, the desktop one or the web browser one, if you use the web one. The comment is here and it can be reviewed and modified and shared with all stakeholders if needed. Let's take some time to look at a second workflow. This one will be again piping and building, but through a coordination model. In this example, we also add Autodesk Navisworks to the list of products used in the next video. Navisworks coordination will be performed from within a central Vault repository. This will be real-time collaboration with Navisworks. We'll perform clash detection for linked 3D models, plant and Revit object properties available. This is quite a big thing here. Navisworks shows both plant and Revit object properties aggregated in the same aggregated in a coordination model, calling both plant and Revit models. And we'll perform production drawing generation for isometric drawings. For the layout drawings, we have already described that in the workflow number 1. So let's take a look at this short video. So when opening and building the Navisworks coordination model, we do that from within the Vault. So we access the files from the Vault, the unique repository. We can access the Revit files and the plant 3D files. And of course, we can easily take into account the linked files from the models. We will here perform a clash detection. We will do piping versus the HVAC system coming from Revit. As I said a few seconds earlier, we can easily in Navisworks understand and access all the Revit models and Plant 3D models properties. It helps us determining if we are authorized to move the cable tray from the MEP model. Then the decision here in this example is taken to modify the piping, the routing of the piping. The status of the code files in the Navisworks coordination model can be checked directly within Navisworks. And once we selected the element, we can then go back to Revit and switch to an automatically generated view on the specific element involved in the clash, the pipe and the cable tray. We can do the same for AutoCAD Plan 3D. We can go back to AutoCAD, use the switchback feature to select the right element to modify. Then we can perform the pipe routing modification inside Plan 3D. We can save the Plan 3D drawing, check it back into Vault, and it will automatically be updated. The new version of my Plan 3D model would be visible automatically in the coordination model in Navisworks. Also, another action we could perform is to update the isometric drawing for this line, since we moved it. So we will just check out the existing isometric model for line number 6 here. update it since it was changed, create the new isometric drawing for fabrication, for example. And then once it's generated, we will be able to check the drawing back into the vault. So it can be visible and shared with the fabricator, for example. So this is the updated isometric drawing. We will check back into vault. As usual, we can add a comment so we can keep track of all changes. We'll revise the drawing since it's considered as a new milestone in the in this pipe design, in this pipeline design. So this is the vault revision. Vault will keep track of all the history of the actions we performed on this specific drawing. Can be checked and reviewed in a very easy way. And as you can see, we can track all versions, all the versions. For comparison purpose, for example, the third workflow would be approval of PNID drawings. As you can see, we can use the Vault approval workflows and then the cloud drive mapping to share the approved documents to BIM 360 from within Vault Professional. And then the documents will be available in BIM 360. We can now take a quick look at this PNID drawing approval and how we can share it on the cloud on BIM 360. We are going to use the change order feature of Vault, which is a specific workflow that can be used to approve documents. In this case, the main document would be a PNID drawing, and we will add to this approval request. We will also add some secondary files such as Microsoft Excel spreadsheets, for example. So this is what we are doing here. And we are not only able to attach documents to the original document, but also to view them and eventually add markups either on the drawings or on the specification documents, should we have any. And this directly in the Vault viewer, in the Vault client. This is what the workflow, the change order workflow looks like. So this is how we place the request. Then once the change order was placed, the request was placed, then we can easily change the drawing. So we are modifying the PNID and checking it back into the Vault, which of course creates a new version of the drawing. We can see the change, and then we can modify the change order status. And pass it to the next step of the workflow, which is in this case would be the review state. Now, next reviewer can check the drawing, check the whole package, drawing plus spreadsheet, and eventually approve or reject it. In this case, we will approve it. Once approved, that's up to us. So this could be automatic as well, but then here it's manual. We could release the drawing. Release it means it's released externally, so it can actually be shared on the cloud. Now I'm showing you here an admin feature, which is the Vault settings. This is where we would map the the folder in Vault we would like to map with a specific folder in BIM 360, and files can be automatically sent to BIM 360 to the cloud when they reach a status reach ready to release status. So this what you can see now is that once that the file has been released externally, so the status changed, then this triggered an action and sent it to the cloud for example subcontractors to consume it. And then we can of course revise the file because this might be a milestone, what we call a revision, and send it back to work in progress. Now we are in revision B with version number 8 of our original PNID drawing. And this is sent back to the work in progress stats so designers can continue working on the PNID. So this third video ends our 3 video series around planned collaboration. We have seen that um, that desktop collaboration, cloud collaboration, and on-premise collaboration are of course possible using the AEC collection, the Autodesk AEC collection on of course Plan 3D, but all other solutions that are included in the AEC collection. But not only is it possible to use one of these 3 workflows, but also to connect them. For example, we obviously can use desktop solutions and then collaborate only on the cloud, or should we have the need to have our own server collaboration, we could use workflow the third video of this series, but also mix it eventually with the cloud with the specific workflow number 3 that we just shown, using, for example, Vault connected to BIM 360. So this again shows the fact that the solutions are very flexible, and we can combine them to build the perfect workflow for every use case. Thank you very much.